Yo, what's going on, True Fam? Welcome back to the channel. It's Whiteshadow, and today, guys, we got a very special headphone amplifier from Creative Soundblaster for you guys today. So let's go ahead and dive into this thing. Alright guys, so like I said, today we are going to be taking a look at Creative Soundblaster's brand new, this thing literally just hit the market, their newest headphone amplifier. This is the SoundblasterX G6, and this is this little bad boy that you see right here. It is an external DAC or DAC, digital analog converter, for headphones, and it's specifically geared towards gamers. So we're going to dive into the specs, the details, all of that fun stuff, and then I'm going to let you guys know what I think about it. Before we do all of that, I do have to give a shout out to my guys and girls over at Creative Soundblaster for shooting this out to me for review. You guys are amazing, beautiful people, and I love you guys so very much. Thank you again for sending this to me. So let's go ahead and take a look at the specs and the details of the SoundblasterX G6, and I'm going to let you guys know exactly what I think about this thing. Spoiler alert, this thing is freaking amazing, so I'll get into that in just a second. Alright, going down the specs here, this thing has 130 decibels of dynamic range, and it has a 32-bit 384 kilohertz playback. That's incredible. This is even more rich and dynamic than the Soundblaster X7, and you guys know I absolutely love that amp. And this thing can fit in the palm of my hand. This is a very portable amp. This thing is insane when it comes to the dynamic range that you can get with your headphones. And when you're using that in game, you're really gonna hear those rich, fine details with that dynamic range. That's pretty incredible. So the XG6 can also do 5.1 and 7.1 surround sound, and it has a very low impedance for headphones. It's down to 1 ohm, so it can go all the way down to power everything down to 1 ohm, which is, if you think about it, this thing can power almost any headphone. It goes all the way up to 600 ohms, so you have a huge array of headphones out there. I don't even think anything goes down that low, but it can go all the way up to 600 ohms. This can technically drive a pair of Sennheiser HD 800s if you wanted it to. That's how powerful this amp is. Another crazy thing about this thing is just the sheer amount of audio quality that you can get out of it. I can get more volume and more clarity out of this than I can the X7. And that kind of goes to show you like how far we've come when it comes to technology. The X7 is huge, it's still a great amp. The X7 can connect to speakers and all of that stuff. But for those of you that need something more portable, or that need something that can fit in like small little setups and things of that sort, this is your guy. The XG6 is pretty crazy when it comes to audio fidelity. Alright, so the XG6 can also mix in your mic audio, so for those of you that use a lot of headphone mics and things of that sort, you can use that to mix the audio in, and it's really good for gaming. I tried it out with my MMX 300s from Beyerdynamic, which has a fantastic mic already. This thing made it sound better. It is able to just mix the voice in beautifully. You can get a nice mix of the game audio, chat audio, and your own voice, and you can even do the voice playback so you can hear it back through your headphones. It's a really good experience with their software as well. The new Soundblaster Connect software allows you to fine-tune all of the settings no matter what you're doing. So if you guys like your bass a little bit richer, or you like less bass, you like more mids, more highs, whatever, you can even tune it in different settings. So you can tune it for games, you can tune it for when you're listening to music, movies, podcasts, you name it, you can do it with the software. Creative really took their time making the software really immersive. And the thing even has RGB lighting on the front of it. RGB on the little X. It's not in your face, but it's just a little subtle enhancement right there on the top that shows you have a very nice quality product. In fact, I do believe this is almost the same type of setup you can get in their newest AE5 the SoundblasterX AE5 internal sound card. I have the Soundblaster Z. This is what a sound card is, if you guys didn't know. Look at how far we've come. We have the XG6 that stomps this thing. When this thing came out, it was the top of the line. But this is a sound card, so you can see the difference. This plugs into your PC. You can take anywhere. Kind of talking about taking it anywhere or using it on just about anything. You can use it on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. Now let's break that down for a minute, because you're going to use this on consoles and your PC a little bit differently than you would just using it on your PC. So PC, of course, is going to be able to use USB or optical audio, because this does do optical cable. It's an SPDIF or optical in. And you can use that on your PC. If you have an optical port on your PC, say you had a sound card plugged in and you want extra amplification through this, you can do that. I use it on USB because it has no latency, it has no interference or anything of that sort. But you can also use USB on the Nintendo Switch docking station, which I thought was a cool feature, as well as the PlayStation 4. Now, Xbox One, you are limited to optical audio because of the proprietary drivers with Xbox. I don't know if they're going to update it in the future. It didn't make sense to me why Xbox wouldn't allow you to use the USB pass-through, but it sounds like Xbox just wouldn't allow it. Maybe in a future software update, I don't know. It sounded great nonetheless. It sounded great on PS4. It sounded great on Xbox, PC. I don't have a Switch, so I couldn't test it. It sounded good on everything. Every piece of audio that I played through this bad boy was perfect. Sounded... I hate to say this, but it sounded better than my Soundblaster X7. Now, the Soundblaster X7 is a different piece of gear. It's going to be used for different things. You can use it on speakers. You can literally, everything that you own, you can use on the X7. This is more for gaming and streaming and things of that sort. And we'll talk about the streaming aspect here in just a second. So the reason why this amp is so good is because Soundblaster from Creative has created an amplifier called the X amp. And the reason why theirs is different is because normal amplifiers will amplify both channels at the same time. So it kind of, think of an amplifier doing this. So you have a line going from the amplifier to both channels, and then it splits off and amplifies both channels at the same time. This one can amplify both channels, say A and B, separately at the same time. Does that make sense to you? And you get a much cleaner signal for both A and B channels than amplifying both channels at the same time. Now, that also helps with the Dolby Digital 5.1 and 7.1 surround sound, because it's a much more accurate surround sound audio experience. And for my testing, I test this against a couple of other amplifiers that I have. I'm not going to name them. You can tell a difference when it comes to decoding even a stereo signal. So sometimes an amplifier can make your music sound really clear, but it can also make it sound a jumbled mess. This didn't do that, because wherever the positional cues, say I was listening to the Halo theme song, and you hear the violins, you hear the cellos, you hear all of that stuff, the positional cues in that music were very accurate. If there was a violin playing on this side and a trumpet or something like a piano or something like that playing on this side, you can hear the differences. That also translated to gaming. When I was playing, I've been playing a lot of Destiny lately because I'm hyped for Forsaken. When I was playing Destiny, I was hearing audio cues that I wasn't hearing before, even with the X7. Now granted, the X7 was a huge boost in audio quality. This was even more because of the playback and the dynamic range. It makes a really immersive experience, especially when I was playing PvP. It made me actually play better because I can hear people's footsteps, I can hear people reloading. Like, I can hear a guy reloading midway into the map when there wasn't a lot going on. When there are supers going off, I can really tell what kind of... I can tell the distinction between a Titan and a Warlock. If you guys play Destiny, you know what I'm talking about here. And this even translated to Fortnite. I can hear when people were picking up materials and when they were on the other side of a wall. It was crazy, the immersive audio experience that I got from this little amplifier. I mean, look at this thing. It's the size, it's the palm of my hand. I know I've already said that, but it's tiny. It's portable. It's basically the size of my smartphone. Let's see here. I mean, it's smaller than my smartphone. You can take it with you. It's such a good little experience and such a nice tiny package. And I didn't think I was gonna get the audio quality that I get from this thing. Now, I've kind of thrown in my thoughts. I've done this review a little bit differently, but kind of wrapping everything of what I've just said up about this is one of the best amplifiers I have ever used. Creative has really created a gamer-centric, streamer-centric, easy to use, mind you, very easy to use amplifier that you don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on. This thing retails for right around 150 bucks. $150 gets you some ballin' audio. The SoundblasterX G6 is my top recommendation for an amplifier right now if you don't need to connect it to speakers. If you need to connect it to speakers, you're gonna be looking at an X7. There's no way around that. You can probably do that by doing a line in. Wouldn't recommend doing speakers through 3.5mm headphone jack. I would use speaker cables, but that's besides the point here. This is the best amp I've ever used. It's definitely elevated my audio game, and you guys know how I feel about audio on our side of the camera. It's just as important as on the other side of the camera for your viewers. We need good audio on our side because it elevates our game, helps us to play better, and we get cool little pieces of tech that we get to show off to all of our viewers and say, hey, listen guys, I know you guys love gaming. I know you guys probably think audio is just as important as I am. Check out the Sound Blaster. This is what I'm using. And it's going to be a talking point for your stream. So it's a good way to use your gear as talking points. But like I said, wrapping everything up, it's awesome. Just go check it out. Make sure you check it out, and be sure if you buy one, let me know on Twitter. You can find my link in the description below. Same with my Discord, and be sure to shout me out on Twitter, tag Creative, and tell them how awesome their product is, because it's fantastic. By the way guys, I do want to let everybody know I am running a giveaway sponsored by Creative on my Twitch channel. If you guys want to come out and win a pair of headphones, so that's the Creative Soundblaster H5, or a little prize pack made by Creative. It's a hat, lanyard, a shirt, and a mouse pad. If you guys are interested in that, be sure to stop by my stream anytime this week to score points in chat, and you'll be able to enter to win when I let the giveaway go live. So thank you guys so much to Creative again for sending this out to me. Thank you guys for sponsoring that giveaway. And guys, be sure to follow TRUgaming on all of their social medias because they are a fantastic company. You should definitely check them out. And be sure to check out all of their streamers. I will leave a link in the description below to their website and everything down there. If you want to join their Discord, be sure to do so. You can find me there as well. But guys, I gotta wrap this up. I gotta get out of here. Get this thing. It's fantastic. I love this amplifier. But until next time, guys, Whiteshadow out.